Hey everybody, Doug Washington here from Base and Tackle Online, and I'm at the North Spit entrance right there. Now, just a few scant weeks ago, and for the past several years, this entire area behind us that you see here was filled with heavy equipment, machinery, living quarters for people working on the North Jetty project in Coos Bay. That project, I guess, has been completed. I didn't see any news announcements or anything. Maybe I just missed it, but there's now access to get back out there. I haven't been out here. We used to be out here a lot. 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, but that project is now wrapped up. So a lot more opportunity. Thousands of acres have been reopened now to the public to come on out and to fish and to explore and have all kinds of fun and to hunt during hunting season. So come on along. We'll see what it looks like. All right, so here we are. This is the first time we've been on here in, like I say, in years. Used to be some of these roads were really soft and a lot of that Scotch broom would scratch up your vehicle. And I'm guessing with all the big machinery that's come through for the past several years, these roads are probably bigger, wider, and a lot easier to traverse. Gonna keep it in four-wheel drive and see how long we can do that. Gonna reset the odometer here. Yes.
Be advised that there's a Chevy SUV white.
It's spinning a little bit. Definitely soft. We brought our nitrogen tank. We brought our gear to refill the tires. We brought our traction boards. We brought a portable winch, our Winch to Go by Weston, which is an amazing tool. And we'll see what we get. All right, at a quarter mile in, which isn't far at all, we started getting this soft sand, which is pretty much what it was last time we were out here, which again was a few years ago. I haven't aired down the tires. If we have to, we have to. Well, I'm gonna try not to. I remember watching a guy try to bring a Camaro out here a number of years ago, and man, he hit the sand running, and there was a BLM park ranger that had come by and actually pulled him out. So the guy was very fortunate. It's not cheap to get a sand recovery out here. All right, we'll go a little further. Well, we're up to the tower here along the beach, and I'm surprised. Like, there's nothing different. For some reason, I thought the road would be bigger, better, wider, more packed down. It is, as far as memory goes, exactly the same. Exactly the same. They did really good not leaving a trace of being here. Like, truly, it's truly amazing for the amount of equipment, the amount of material that was taken down here. You know, all those rocks first came by barge initially, and then towards the end of the project, the last portion of it, they all came by lowboy and then put on those big giant earth-moving dump trucks. Pretty amazing stuff. All right, where we are here is, if you guys remember that temporary dock that they were bringing all the boulders in on the barge, that was straight out there. And from about there to there is a lot of the crabbing that takes place. You know, Clam Island's down that way to give you some perspective. Charleston is right over there. But straight across from here, caught many crab over the past few years, but they kind of give you an idea. Right at this point, the road gets a lot nicer. It gets a lot more compact, a lot less soft sand, but we'll keep going. Okay, so from where we just were, where the heavy equipment was and where the barge was offloading, the road seems nicer from here on out. I could probably put it in two-wheel drive and have no problem, but that makes sense. I was like, huh, the road's nicer here, and the love of my life said, well, this is where the majority of the traffic took place for the first couple years, where they offloaded all those boulders in the barge. So that kind of makes sense. Starting to get a little soft again, but kind of makes sense. And again, you know, could you get out here to two-wheel drive? Yeah, maybe. Kind of depends on what you got. Depends on what you're willing to do to it. But there are definitely soft spots on the way out here. Definitely soft spots on the way out here. And those of you that know where it is off in that plover area, that gate's still closed. They didn't chase the plovers out, so it kind of just circumnavigates around that like it did, and that gate is closed. I'm assuming it's been closed for the past few years because it didn't look like big equipment had gone through there. So that's probably going to be where the Scotch broom gets all bad. But it used to be kind of the easy shortcut to go through. Actually, we'll keep recording here. We're pulling up to, we'll see the bay here. We'll see actually see the Yeti for the first time. See this side of it, unless you've been out here clamming or what have you. Kind of see all that. There's Charlestown. People in boats. All right, we'll continue on. All right, and here we are pulling up on the North Jetty for the first time in years since the construction began. And honestly, I'm kind of taken aback at how not different it looks. Well, here it's different. They close this off. Now, keep in mind, the BLM Nazis will always put up these little red fences and keep people further away all the time. This isn't just plover stuff. They want to keep people off the beach there. So, well, let's go for a little walk and see what we got. Yeah, I used to be able to access this, but now they've shored this up so you can't come down here. It was always kind of fun to drive down there, take a look at stuff, look down the beach. Oh, so they've changed the snowy plover area to be bigger now. So it used to be over there, but somehow the snowy plover have come over here. Yeah, of course, that's encroachment, right? That's what they do. All right. It's been years since we've been out here. We're gonna have to do a night fishing trip very, very soon. Put boulders here to keep people from driving out. I don't know why. I guess, yeah, people would do something stupid if they drove out there. That's too bad, because it'd be great to drive out there. Look at this. This is wild. That's cool to see. Coons and porcupines lived out here. There was those look like coons. There's no tail drag. With porcupines, you see tail drag. And there's mice. And then you got the coon tracks. And people tracks. Very, very cool. Look down over yonder. Look down over yonder. This is fun. I'm more excited about fishing off the jetty now than I think I have been over the past several years. Now it's not the best fishing. You don't get the biggest grade or the best grade, but you get a lot of fish. We'd come out and have 100+ fish nights. There'd be groups of us. Oh, lizard! Hang on. Where'd you go? Where are you? Why can't I see you? There you are. Nice to see all the life out here. Very cool. All right. But yeah, as I was saying, it's not the best quality fish. You can get some decent ones out here, but you can hammer away at numbers, and you could, 100 fish night per person is not unrealistic. And we used to come out, there'd be groups of 2, 3, 4, 5 of us sometimes. Sometimes groups of us would come out, there'd be like 1,000 fish night. Hard to believe, right? Sounds like a fishtail. It's not. It's true. There's some big coons in here. All kinds of tracks. This is neat. Bunny tracks? Hope the porcupines are okay. Hope they lived. They were my favorite out here. I'd chase them down, take videos of them. They're such a docile animal. All right, we'll go down to the end and report. All right, we're still walking down to the end, and me oh my, is this ever nice walking compared to what it used to be. It used to be that like hard scrabble and boulders and chunks of rocks and kind of like walking on that stuff all over. Ankle twisting, especially at night, but this is beautiful. Now, over the next coming years, as that rain hits this and the wind erodes it, it'll go back to that. But it's nice right now. You know, you come out here, bring your family. This is a great place to fish. Just be careful on these rocks. They're you get all messed up. We've had a few customers come out here and break legs. We had one guy, he was in the Winchester jetty, and he broke his femur like for real. And it was one of the few times he came out without his kids, without his daughter. He used to take her all the time. He went by himself, thankfully. He twisted and fell, broke his femur. Big guy, like big, like monster guy. And he had to pull himself off the rocks to get help. So just something to keep in mind when you're out here. Big boulders, they're pretty unforgiving. Okay, here we are getting closer to the end. The amount of birds, the amount of bird feces, and just the stench of avians is nasty. They've always kind of used this as their dumping ground. See all the white on the rocks? That's not paint. Seriously, it smells like under an old bridge that's had pigeons living in it for decades, or an old abandoned house. Yeah, like all that white, that's all bird guano. But look at that. Now, I wouldn't come and play out here unless it was nice out, but today is nice. I think we'll just go up to where the sand kind of ends here. We can hop the rocks, but I don't know, maybe we will. We'll see. Beautiful out here. All right, and here I am at the end. I'm not going to go any further because the amount of bird dung on here is just wild, and a lot of it's still really wet and gross. And some of the stuff you got to kind of put a hand on when you jump from rock to rock. But I'll tell you what's interesting. There's not a bit of movement in any of these rocks. The Corps of Engineers and the contractors they used did an amazing job. In fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were supposed to be done the end of this year. Is this did they go long or did they go short? I don't know. But they did a great job. I think they did. Yeah, still got to watch for little broken pieces and stuff. Some of it's kind of shale-like. It's not really shale, but feels and looks like it. So you might have some skiddy bits in there. Pretty cool. So there you have it. The love of my life and I out on the North Spit. First time in years. You should come out here.